Well, to music now, and to an Irish band who later on this week will release their 10th LP, Sirius. Formed in Gweedore in the early 70s, Clannad have since then taken their unique style of music into the album bestsellers on both sides of the Atlantic. Well, taking some time out from a very hectic schedule, we're delighted to welcome in studio Máire Ní Bhraonáin. Welcome along.
Thanks, Aonghus.
I think a lot of people became aware of Clannad after the theme from Harry's Game became such a big hit. How did that actually come about?
Well, I don't know if people are sick of hearing about it, but Gerard Seymour, that wrote the book of Harry's Game, heard an album that we had made called, I forget, what was the name of the album? I think it was Clannad 6 or something. Anyway, yeah, one of many, I forget, there's so many of them. And there was one song in it which was a Scottish Gaelic song, and we did just vocals, and it was the first time we used synthesizer. We used a Prophet 5. And he liked the actual sound of it and approached the Yorkshire television producer and the musical director. And they came over and they asked us, would we be interested to write a song? And I suppose we weren't really known as songwriters as that, because at that stage all we did was did renderings of old traditional songs in our own type of way. And Kieran and Paul and I, Kieran and Paul mainly are the main writers, and after about 3 days we sent them what we thought was a good enough demo, and they said, that'll do us. So
because most of the audience who would have heard that presumably wouldn't have understood a word of it, because even Irish-speaking Irish people hadn't a clue what about really.
Yeah, that's very true. But I think the main thing about it, and the main thing about the Gaelic language, as far as when we use Gaelic as a form, we use it as a form of music as well, because the sound of it is so good. And a lot of people, when I met people from England or Europe or in America, they didn't mind what it was about. It was the sound that they loved first more than anything, and then after whatever, listening to it for umpteen times, asked me what it meant. But it didn't really matter to them what it was. It was really, and the effect was, I don't think it would have sounded the same if it wasn't in the English language. So
you also got a British Academy Award in '85 for the Robin of Sherwood music. What sort of a difference does that make to a band at that stage in your career?
Well, I suppose looking upon a little band from Donegal to win a British Academy Award was a huge thing, and it's definitely one of the highlights of our career. It was just the feeling of being there, and you don't really know what the end result is, because we were nominated for Harry's Game for the BAFTA Awards. So we were sitting there and everybody kept saying, oh, you're going to win it, you're going to win it. And we were really disappointed. So this time around, we were sitting there, somebody was saying, oh, you know, I think maybe it's on the cards. And we said, and I just kept saying, no, I will not believe, I won't believe anything. And then when when Ronnie Scott, I remember, was the guy that opened the envelope, when he said it, it was brilliant, it was stunning, and it meant a lot, because now we haven't given up the fact of doing more musicals and hopefully a good movie. And we've had a lot of offers, but because of that, we can choose ourselves, and we're very careful.
A new style on the album. You've got people like Bruce Hornsby playing with you now, Steve Perry. How did you get those briefly?
Well, Bruce we admire an awful lot as a musician and as a singer. And when Greg Ladani, the producer of this new album, he's an American and a wonderful producer, asked us who we'd like to have any singers that I'd like to sing along with. And Bruce, of course, came to my mind right away, not thinking, of course.
That he might actually come along and do it.
Yeah, and the other thing was that he was on the same label as us, which is RCA, which was good. So he happened to be in London when we were finishing off some of the album in London. And he came to see us in the studio, listened to some of the tracks. He was playing in the Hammersmith Odeon, and we went to see a show there and got to know him kind of before any decisions were made as, I'll do it or whatever.
And it all came together from then?
Yeah, it did.